Welcome back, guys. This is Thanks for Your Money, and we're going to play some PLO Vision Synchro Spots Multiway. Yeah, my hand is probably not good enough to check raise. However, we have the King of Hearts, which is blocking the civet range of our opponent. So it's kind of similar to the Ace Queen Jack. With the Ace Queen Jack 9, the Ace of Hearts, we're going to bet 50% just because we expect this to be checked quite often, and it's a disaster if a heart comes on the turn and someone has a lower flash. I think I just want to fold. This represents a lot of strength. This has to be a check. We are only leading 8% of the time. Um, with jacks, we tend to check almost always. However, we're going to lead when we have the ace x of hearts or hearts and jacks. Same story with tens and hearts. The ace x of hearts and tens, we're going to lead just because we expect this to be checked quite often when we are holding the ace x of hearts. I think I'm blocking too much and I have to check. Okay. Mm, yeah, I thought I was just blocking too much with the ace king and the 5-3. Mm. Yeah, with the ace of hearts, ace 5 with the ace of hearts, we're betting probably because we are expecting that this player is not going to bet, and it's a bit of a disaster. I mean, we do not want to see turns and give free cards to our opponent. Um, because our full house is also vulnerable to higher full houses. If this was something like uh, Jack Jack 10 and we had the Ace King Jack 10, I think we're probably checking back. So we have to. I think this is a fold. Actually, it's tempting to call, but we're even calling with two hearts. Um, yeah, the problem of calling here is that this player can check races, so that's why we're playing a bit tight. I think folding is fine, just because a 10 or a 7 may or may not be good. With 7-8, ace, king, 7-8, I think we're just calling because we do not have mm, too much. We do not have a redraw, even with two backdoors. We're most of the time just calling. Yeah, we need the jack in order to raise here. Okay, to a9. Uh, Probably just calling. Yeah, with nines we would raise. With eight we would raise if we had some backdoors. Without backdoors, it's just a call. And with uses, it's always a call actually. This is an easy check. Ace 10 9. Very weird lead. And here I'm going to raise back just because he could have something like Jack Queen King. Yeah, you wanna raise with aces here almost always. Here I have showdown value and backdoors. I'm not blocking any pair, so this is just an easy check back. With queens, I think we wanna bet like close to 100% of the time. Yeah, maybe you can check 1 in 10 or something like that. I think this is a call. Um, the 4 gives us the nuts and the 9 as well. So we have an open-ended with a pair. So I think this is just a call. If this was heads up, this could be a race, especially with the backdoors. think, okay, calling. Mm, this is a call. Yeah, and with ace, king, king, queen, it could be a race with two backdoors. This is an easy check back. I think I'm going to call here with the blockers. A raise. Could be a call, could be a raise. Kind of 50-50. This is a check. It's tempting to bet this combo. Um, Maybe heads up could be a dong, but yeah, not three-way. I think I wanna raise just because I have the queen and the king as backdoor, so it's kind of mix between raising and calling. With the jack queen king ace, it's actually more of a call. Okay. I think we have to check that because with the ace we're probably going to bet like 50-60% of the time. With three spades a bit more just because we're targeting sets. Um, yeah, we have a pair of nines. Um, yeah, we really want to see a turn. So we would bet with hearts, with the ace x of hearts, or with two hearts, just because they are blocking a lot the continuation range of our opponent. This is an easy fold with ace 6 7. You could raise if you have backdoors. Same as if you have a gut shot and a backdoor flush draw, you can also raise. Even without backdoor flush draws, if you have a gut shot, you can raise because you have something like 8% additional equity. And with King Jack, it's probably a call depending on your backdoors. If you have backdoors, then you can raise. I think with the ace of hearts, it's a bit tempting to bet, and with a gut shot, but yeah, apparently not good enough to bet. You need mm, yeah, not even with spades. So yeah, yeah, you are not blocking the queen and the jack. With if you were blocking that, then you may wanna raise, for example. With ace, ace, 10, queen, and the ace of hearts, you are betting. Folding and with two hearts, folding quite often, but with hearts and spades, you could actually raise. Okay, so we do not draw two king high flushes in general. With a queen, so we are actually calling this very often. I mean, here I think, okay, check. Yeah, I guess that aces and kings are not folding, so I wanted to bet just because jacks are blocking a bit of queens. Yeah, I think this is just a fold. This represent a lot of strength actually. Maybe with two backdoors you could decide to go. And this is a fold. With queens I would raise most of the time. With jacks I think I would call. And yeah, because I'm a bit afraid of queens here. With queens I think you can call. You have something like ace king queen queen. And yeah, when you have some blockers to the straight, I think you can call. Yeah, I mean you want your opponent to have jacks on this spot, and what you don't want is to see a ace or a king roll off on the turn. So since you have blockers to the ace and the king, then you can call whenever you have those blockers. Yeah, if you have one blocker, you could just raise. Yeah, with two blockers you call, and zero blockers you're always raising. Again, this could be bad aces, could be something like 7, 8, 10. On this spot with aces, I would raise. Yeah, because when he's leading into you and you have aces, it's kind of likely that he has 7, 8, 10 kind of hand. Just because nines are probably check calling. Here, I think it's an easy fold. This lead is actually quite strong. I have a jack. I think I would bet this one because, well, I have top pair, but my hand is not going to improve on the turn or river. So normally you tend to bet those hands like top pair with another pair. This is usually a betting hand. For example, if you have something like ace queen jack 10, you're going to bet this less often, or ace queen jack, I don't know, 7. Yeah, you check those back sometimes, depending on your backdoors. If you have the backdoors, you are still allowed to bet ace queen jack 10, even with just one backdoor, is just a bet. And yeah, so those hands are betting, and they are kind of, um, if you wanna say, those are the bluffs which you are going to balance whenever you have jacks. Without backdoors, I think I'm folding. It's close though, with top and bottom without a backdoor flush draw. Could be a fold, could be a call. Well, we do not have the ace of hearts. However, it's kind of similar to the board which was Jack High. Um, so we are using this as a bluff with a bit of a blocker with the ace, and then yeah, with this pair of fours, which is a terrible hand, and this never, I mean, it's very unlikely going to improve. Then you're going to use this as a bluff, apparently. Yeah, even without any blockers. Okay, so those are your bluffs here. And it's a bluff that probably on the turn you're just checking it back. I think with the 5-7, with the open ender, the jacks, and backdoor clubs, I think you can bet this. Again, okay, this is a check. Could be a bet as well. Our hand is not going to improve very much at all. So you can use this as a bluff, although, yeah, you prefer to have a heart. But yeah, not a big deal if you bet this. I think without uh, backdoors, just an 8 gives us a nut straight, and just second pair, I think I would just fold here. But yeah, apparently it's just a call. Apparently because it's half pot. If someone pots into you, then it's an easy fold. Here, I think I have an easy, yeah, raise. I wonder if this is a raise fold. Um, yeah, I guess as we are out of position, we want to take it down. And we do not have very good playability. So fold, and then here, king, queen, 10, 5. So we are always raising, apparently. And yeah, once we raise, I don't think we're going to fold. Okay, so it's just yeah. Okay, so top two, you can just stick it in. And this is an easy fold. With queens, we're calling whenever we have hearts, with two hearts or just with one heart. Raising when we have two hearts, since we suspect our opponent to have the ace-x of hearts. And yeah, we also tend to call with two spades, just because we're going to have some playability, better playability on the turn. And without hearts, you can just raise. So they are raising with a bad flush draw, calling with the ace of hearts. Also calling with queens and spades. And raising everything else. And here it's kind of mixed strategy. I think I could lead. What is nice about this lead is that we're going to make aces and kings fold, probably. So yeah, so we are promoting our. So we are going to make better hands fold. If we had something like eights, we are going to bet 30%, but we're going to check quite a lot as well, just because we want to check raise with that hand. Or with sevens, probably same idea. You can lead 30% of the time, and the rest you're going to check raise it. Here I'm just going to call here. Could be up against kings. Yeah, and also if my opponent has just a king, I want him to make a two pair. I would also call with kings here. Probably. You can raise sometimes and calling with eights most of the time. With kings, you can raise whenever you do not have backdoors. But with backdoors, you're just calling. It's tempting to lead with the eights, but I think I'm just going to check. Just because we're checking very, very often. Even with the ace-x of hearts, we're just yeah, even with the ace with hearts, we're usually checking this. Without a 7, we are only leading 7% of the time. With a7 and ace-x of hearts, I would just lead here. Leading. Well, here you could slow play, but here you do not want to give a bad flush draw out. Okay, let's have. So this is an easy fold. Okay, we're calling here. That's a bit surprising, but yeah, maybe we have some playability on 5, 7, 8 on those turns. A6. Okay, pretty difficult to implement that strategy. I think that's folding here without bad second pair, and yeah, the 10 is not going to give us the nut straight. Hmm, I think with top pair and backdoors we can call, and we would actually raise with two backdoors. Uh, Here we wanna bet this. Now with top two. I think here I wanna raise. Okay, calling. Mm, I was thinking that we want to protect the 5, 6, 7 kind of hand which our opponent may have. Still, we are going to raise. Yeah, with the 5, 6, we're calling. So yeah, we're calling with blockers. So Jack, Jack. So it's King, Jack, Jack. We're calling with those just because we are a bit more protected against kings or aces that our opponent may have. And we are racing with yeah. So whenever we have to ace king, ace queen, aces and jacks, I guess we would call as well. Okay, we are racing. Well, this could be mixed strategy though. I think I have an open-ended and backdoor spades, so I think I can call here, and you could raise with hearts. Even without backdoor spades, you can call. This is an easy fold. This is an easy check. With the 10 jack, I think we can lead maybe 30% of the time. Yeah, 24% of the time. Just because we're not allowed to lead very often. We have showdown value. It's tempting to bet, but think and just wanna check. The problem is that if we face a check raise, we may be up against sets or kings and hearts, or there are some combos which give us a lot of trouble, even with backdoor spades. We are always betting our sets, right? Yeah. You could check sometimes bad uses, I guess. Here, I think it's just a call. We are blocking our opponent from having top set, which is very nice. And we have one backdoor hearts. I think, okay, checking. Same idea, or can this just do it to, I mean, it's a weak uh, made hand and a weak draw, so it's apparently just a check. What I was thinking is that maybe tens are blocking a bit the continuation range of our opponent, but I guess it's more important the flush draws. Okay, 7, 7, 8. Let's see. Okay, folding. It's probably close, but still a fold. Here, I think we can go. I wouldn't raise just because we do not have a flush draw. With a flush draw, you could raise here. Just because you have a pair and nice straight out. I think you can call and then probably bluff on the turn. You should bluff if you make your straight with a heart. You do not have to bluff. You just have to check. And probably check turn and check raise river. And yeah, with your straight, probably you can lead out. very dry board with king 7. I think I'm going to raise. Yeah, with top 2, you usually just raise here. Um, I think it's tempting to bet. Um, just because our hand, well, could improve on a 3-5 to jack is a bit dubious. So whenever you have those combos, I think you can decide to bet whenever you have better backdoors. This is an easy fold. With queens, you should raise. With ace, jack, and hearts, I think this is a good question. Ace, jack, 6-7. Yeah, ace, jack, 6-7. So with a gut shot and hearts, you actually call probably because you want to get action from the king high flush. Ace king jack 7. Still you are going to raise. Ace king 7-6. Yeah, you are just calling. If you have backdoor spades, you could think about raising. So yeah, backdoor and so a gut shot and do not flush draw. You are calling probably just because this guy is very rarely going to raise, going to fold. Something like tens, and nothing else is just a call. Mm, most of the time. Tens and hearts for sure you're raising, or with the ace x of hearts. This is an easy fold with aces. Without blockers, you're going to raise. And with aces and some blockers like aces and that, then you would call. Or aces, the aces king 10, you would call most of the time. Especially with those two backdoor flush draws. It's a fold here with tens we would raise for sure. With nines, it's a bit. Yeah, with nines, particularly with backdoors, you tend to raise. Yeah, but something as bad as 9966 without any backdoor, you're just going to call very often and try to spot a blank like 2, 3, 4. This 510 is 3. I think 3 ways I don't wanna call with this hand. Maybe heads up you can call. And yeah, I think with tens, so yeah, with tens you have to raise with 10-5 as well. Tens and 10-5s are just raising range, uh, raising hands. With fives, yeah, you tend to raise as well. With deuces, yeah, you're just raising. I guess that you're not expecting your opponent to have many tens or fives under the gun. This is an easy fold, I guess. I call. Yeah, I guess the sizing is so small that you can see a turn, I guess. We're not blocking pairs, so I think it's time to check. With kings, I think you can bet this 80% of the time. Um, yeah, you could slow play sometimes just because it's not a very scary board. I think calling is in order here. With kings, I guess you have to raise very often, unless you have the ace X, ace king of hearts, in which case you are calling a turn bet and check raising the river. No, actually, I think you are check raising the turn as well, since your opponent could have tens or threes. I mean, if a flash comes. Um, this is a spot raise. Okay, so good question. Since we have kings and king 8 as races, we are going to use this king queen jack 10 as a bluff. Or king 997 would be also a pretty clear bluff here. I guess that we are trying to make ace king fold or aces fold. Yeah, yeah, with the strategy actually. With uses, what are we doing with uses? We are just racing. So yeah, we are. It's a bit unfortunate, but if we have the uses, we're going to lose our whole stack. Even 300. Since we have the Ace of Hearts, this looks a lot like 10s or 7s or a nice combo draw. This is quite scary, and here we have an easy bot here. Even with Ace King King, yeah, Ace King King with hearts, um, we would just raise. However, if we have Ace King King with the Ace of Hearts, we are going to call just because we're putting our opponent more on something like tens, eights, or and yeah, also we have some playability on turns and rivers. Yeah, for example, if a heart comes into turn, yeah, I guess we can bet then. Here, I think I just want to raise because I'm not blocking hearts. So queens and hearts, or just one heart is just a call. With something like queen 6. Okay, something like queen 6 7. Something as bad as this is going to be always a raise just because the playability on the turn is going to be very poor. But maybe ace queen 10 has some playability because you have straight draws. If it was like it's queen 5, I think this is a raise. Mm, so yeah, queens is kind of mixed strategy between raising or calling. So yeah, we're just raising the ones with the worst playability, like queen jack, queen jack 8, queen 4, queen jack 9. It's queen 5, but then tend to call with the ones who have more playability, like ace queen queen 10 or ace queen queen 9, queen queen 10 9. So yeah, king queen queen 10. This has some playability, so we're going to call this, but the ones queen queen jack 10, queen 10 7, we're going to raise. Okay. I think I'm going to go here with the aces and one backdoor. I think we have to fold here. 9 10 10 jack. It's also fold, so although with two hearts, you may just wanna raise here. So yeah, you would check, bet, the 9 10 10 jack. If we raise here, if he pots and he calls, with the 9 10 10 jack, we are folding actually, because we would need to have like um, 135 divided 600, which is 22% equity, 22.5% equity in order to call. But the problem is that we may very well be up against sets and better flush draws. So this is just a fold. Okay, guys, have fun.